Barr Mansion is primarily a wedding venue. While we can host all different types of events, whether those are corporate retreats, galas, nonprofit events, trade shows, things of that nature, our bread and butter is weddings. And something that really is unique about our property specifically in the event venue world is typically you're just renting out the space. So you're just renting out the building and anything that comes with it, essentially. Whereas at Barr Mansion, you're not only renting out the space, but you are shepherded to use our in-house catering staff, our bar services. We have in-house rentals, service teams. We have essentially a team of 75 that keep this running day to day. And so you're getting access to all of that extra support where other venues, you're just getting the space. So we essentially cover the realm of 5 to 6 vendors, depending on the scope of things, whereas others in our same arena, it's one. In regards to being whether like our calendar and our availability and things of that nature, I like to call it we are blessed, booked, and busy, and I wouldn't have it any other way. We are, I'd say, completely booked out for our peak dates in 2026. We're just now encroaching on booking our 130th event for 2026, and then we just opened up bookings for 2027, and we're like at number 40.
This episode is brought to you by Pierre Tax and Accounting, led by CPA Eric Pierre, a seasoned accounting and tax expert with years of experience helping individuals and businesses navigate complex financial landscapes. Whether you need personal tax planning, business tax strategy, bookkeeping, or financial planning support, Eric and his team are committed to helping you protect and grow your financial future with clarity and confidence. To get expert guidance you can trust, check out Pierre Tax and Accounting at pierreaccounting.com. We'd also like to thank Data Driven Decisions, founded by Katy Forster, for sponsoring today's show. Data Driven Decisions specializes in accounting, bookkeeping, payroll, and advisory services tailored specifically for small businesses and entrepreneurs who want financial clarity and peace of mind. From KPI reporting to fractional CFO support and QuickBooks training, Katy's team brings big firm expertise with a personal touch. Visit them at datadriven.coach to see how smart financial support can make all the difference in your business growth. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Big Hitters Podcast. I'm joined by Zachary Siegel, who manages a venue called the Barr Mansion. So recently here, we've been starting to have owners and managers of event spaces on the podcast. I find that space fascinating, so I'm excited to dive into it with Zach here today. Zach, tell us a little bit about how you got involved in this space, how you got started in the event space business.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, Andrew, thank you so much for having me on the Big Hitters podcast. I'm really excited to be joining you today to talk a little bit about the events industry and what we're doing here at Barr Mansion to really re-envision the space as a whole. To give you some background of who I am and how I got started in this space. So essentially, I have been in events since high school, really in many different facets, whether that was in the nonprofit space, through different advocacy groups and things of that nature. And that really transitioned into college, where at the University of Texas, especially more specifically in the Greek life space, I got heavily involved in running all sorts of different events, whether that was festivals, fundraisers, galas, nonprofit events for different organizations here and around Austin. But I really fell in love with really the logistics aspect of putting things together and having a team of people come together to create something really special. That being said, throughout my time at the University of Texas, aside from the Greek life space and university experience and things of that nature, I really wanted to hone in on the wedding industry specifically. I felt really called and drawn to all of the different facets of what is available in that arena. And so I reached out to one of the leading organizations here in Austin called Pearl Events. They're a leader in not only Central Texas, but really in the United States as event designers creating bespoke experiences for people celebrating their biggest milestones. Essentially, that opportunity gave me a lot of experience and really dove face first into some really difficult, challenging roadblocks and having to overcome some challenges we were coming out of post-COVID, where we were really fearful on what the event space was going to look like.
Mm,
And that just allowed us to have more flexibility to reinvent the wheel, essentially.
mm.
I decided post grad that while I loved being with, working for a planner and being in the more of a design space, I really missed the logistics aspect of management and organization and leadership. And so my former employer connected me with Abby Daigle, who had just recently purchased the Barr Mansion from her mother. I can touch on a little bit of the history of the space here in just a bit, but she was coming in to really raise the bar is what we call it, for it to be fitting. And so today I come to you as the venue manager, serving essentially as the director of operations for all things weddings here on property. And a year and a half later, being here with the company, I live to tell the tale and loving every minute of it.
I love that. I don't know a ton about the wedding venue space, but I do have a good buddy of mine who owns a wedding venue here in Colorado, and I know a little bit about like the economics of it. And he is booked out for at least 2 or 3 years, and his price point is insane. So tell me a little bit about the like how the venue works, how busy you guys are, what the majority of your events are. I'm kind of curious to dive into a little bit more of the specifics.
Of course. So Bar Mansion is primarily a wedding venue. While we can host all different types of events, whether those are corporate retreats, galas, nonprofit events, trade shows, things of that nature, our bread and butter is weddings. And something that really is unique about our property specifically in the event venue world is typically you're just renting out the space. So you're just renting out the building and anything that comes with it, essentially. Whereas at Bar Mansion, you're not only renting out the space, but you are uh, shepherded to use our in-house catering staff, our bar services. We have in-house rentals, service teams. We have essentially a team of 75 that keep this running day to day. And so you're getting access to all of that extra support where other venues you're just getting the space. So we essentially cover the realm of 5 to 6 vendors, depending on the scope of things, whereas others in our same arena, it's one. In regards to being whether like our calendar and our availability and things of that nature, I like to call it we are blessed, booked, and busy, and I wouldn't have it any other way. We are, I'd say, completely booked out for our peak dates in 2026 with we're just now encroaching on booking our 130th event for 2026, and then we just opened up bookings for 2027 and we're like at number 40, I believe. And so we are seeing a shift in client behavior, really. In people used to book, they used to wait a long time, or they used to book way ahead of time, whereas now they're waiting till a little bit more last minute to secure their dates. And so that is obviously making things a little bit more difficult in terms of availability. But being that we're essentially a one-stop shop, somewhat turnkey, if you might say, people are drawn to Bar Mansion because they are waiting and they have everything in one place.
Okay, so a couple things you talked about that I find interesting. So managing multiple teams. So you have catering. What were the other ones that you do? Do you have the event planner, photographer? What were the ones that you mentioned?
Yeah, so essentially in-house we have our culinary team, so we have an executive chef, a pastry chef, a baker, and then all the culinary teammates that make the system run there. We have a in-house bar program, so beverages, alcohol, liquor, handcrafted cocktails and mocktails, all the things there. We also have our events and services team, so our banquet captains, our events directors, our servers, our back servers, uh, our dish team, and then we also have our grounds team. So again, we have 30 acres of property that we're taking care of, and we really need to make sure it's in pristine condition year round. And so overseeing the continued efforts in that regard. And then we also have our sales and admin team to make sure that we are keeping our calendars booked, and that we're not missing out on any opportunities to market or showcase or advertise in any other spaces. And then my role, aside from helping shepherd these teams to be successful in making sure that they have all the tools that they need, I really focus on the client relations aspect. So you're working with me from booking to breakdown to make sure that we are capturing all of those details from start to finish to make sure that you have everything that you need from Barr Mansion, from your vendors, to execute that perfectly. We still do require that you book a wedding coordinator at minimum 90 days out, so 3 months of partial planning to really execute your vision on the day of. But in conjunction with our teams, it really does take a village. And so no one person can do this by themselves, down to the dishwasher. It takes all of us to put these things together.
That's awesome. So, tell us what's going really well with your business right now, and what do you feel like is not going so well?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's hard to differentiate what is going well and there's always areas of improvement. I think holistically, business wise, we are driving a bunch of new growth and opening a lot of new sectors, especially in different cultures or different traditional weddings that we haven't touched on in past years. We definitely have focused on like Western style weddings, whereas now we're getting more into like Indian fusion and different cultures and learning how we can use our space to accommodate those different aspects. As a business, we are uh, continuously starting and finishing projects, whether that is construction, renovation, um, curating the grounds, refocusing the standard of service from our service teams, rebuilding our menus from a culinary perspective, and then enhancing our bar programs to not only improve value, but I'd say with everything overall, my motto and mission that I've instilled with my team is everything that we do here is intentional. So every single thing from start to finish is intentional and has meaning behind it. We're not doing anything just for just to do it, and that I think really sticks out with our clients. And then kind of to round out where we're really setting the stage and being trailblazers in the industry is that client experience. So making sure that people, especially on their biggest day of their lives, feel special. We do this day in, day out and are doing hundreds of weddings a year. And so it can be really hard to individualize each event and know that while we do this for a living and this is our bread and butter, the people, our clients and their families, they're only doing this once. And so making sure that there's those touch bases are there and that we're really curating the experience to make it feel special. Some areas that we really are growing in that need, I'd say, just some time for more support and integration is from a business perspective, we are transitioning to digital softwares. We are stepping into the 21st century and automating as much as we can. We definitely just, people are used to what they're used to, and change is always difficult. And so I think that's one of those pressure points that we're really focusing on in there. And then just being able to highlight different areas of our property and be really versatile with clients who are thinking outside the box. But overall, it's it's hard to answer the question, what could be going better, uh, but definitely, digging deep to try to find some areas of growth and improvement for sure.
Just out of curiosity, what is your very typical package cost? You don't have to tell us like your P&L, but like what's a very average package people are hiring you for?
So, because we do require clients to use our in-house catering and bar services, it really varies price per head and selections from menus and things like that. But just let's take a peak Saturday in November, on that you're spending 14,500 for the venue rental, which is including, a whole bunch of different things that you don't have to rent from outside sources. And then you are also having to meet a $25,000 food and beverage minimum. So let's say for a guest count of 100, um, out the door, we're looking anywhere between 45 and $65,000 spend here with Barr Mansion.
So I'm just doing some mental math here. I'm wondering if I need to get into the wedding venue business because that's killer, man. That's amazing. Let's talk about. So you mentioned automations. I'm curious to hear about it. So I see that AI could be really useful for the wedding venue space or the event space. Where are you guys using it, or how are you leveraging it?
Absolutely. So, first and foremost, uh, as somebody who is, I'm no coder. I'll preface that first off. I'm no coder, but automating systems or things that we do every day, time is money, and you really have to look at everything as like, what is your time worth? And you can spend a little bit extra in one area to create something once that you can click a button and it just does it, which is, I think, creating templates and documents that we use for each individual client and making sure that they're still unique and special, but have all of those fields and spaces for information. Something specific to Bar Mansion that I've been working on with my team is we've essentially created a AI model that if you have a question or if you don't know the answer to something or you need to learn more about something in a specific area, that it's gained all this knowledge that we've put into it, and you can ask it, okay, like what's the venue fee for this date? It'll give you that answer as if you were talking to one of our team members. And this isn't necessarily client facing. This is more internal use. We've expanded our team so rapidly with just all of this last minute growth that we've experienced. And so this model has been really helpful to strategize and like especially my admin, like if I'm not available at that very moment and if I'm in a meeting and she has a question, she can ask this model and it'll spit out an answer to her. In terms of client facing automation and where we're using AI, really just making sure that sometimes people send massive pieces of information and data over to us. And so instead of spending, time really dissecting each individual piece, being able to throw it into a software and have it pull out those major points, and then us being able to connect on those major points has been really helpful in being efficient. So I think there's tons of room for growth when it comes to automation and AI and all of the things. But right now we're really focusing on efficiency in coupling those softwares and things.
What are some things that you're particularly proud of with the Bar Mansion? What are some things that really stick out as either accomplishments or things you guys have had to figure out, barriers you've had to overcome?
Great question. We as a team, from the transition of ownership to where we are today, um, have made leaps and bounds in essentially every single area that we touch. And so I first think it's really important to recognize the hard work of our village, of our team. We have incredible leaders that, have staff that are willing to show up and give just a phenomenal experience. And so that again is like turning the wheel for a revolving door of great client reviews and people seeing that and wanting to be a part of the Barr Mansion family. So I think that's the first big accomplishment. Second, of course, the growth that we've made just both in the number of events that we've booked, the calendar, how far out we are filling, and then just the numbers from 2025 have been wonderful. I mean, we're really proud of where we finished up this year in 2025. Uh, Again, we've also expanded our team in many different areas, whether that's our grounds crew, our admin team. We have brought on some new culinary professionals, and then we've also added some support services for our banquet teams and bar teams, in giving them the tools and resources they need to be successful. But I think all in all, the most beautiful part and the biggest success is that to date in 2025, we've been doing weddings and events here at Barr Mansion for 40 years, but specifically this year, we were able to celebrate nearly 120 couples in their biggest day and have things run very smoothly and really cement and build even stronger foundations with our vendor partners here in the Austin community.
That's awesome. What's one thing we haven't talked about today, Zach, that gets you fired up?
Something that gets me fired up, I think creativity, outside of the box thinking, and willingness to take risk. When you work with professionals and you work with people who know what they're talking about, it's okay to take those outside of the box risks, whether that's with design, whether that's with flow, timeline, just overall feel of the day. And so I love a client who is willing to do things differently and create a unique experience that really is special not only for them but for the guests, and just the growth of the industry as a whole. I think as a lot of companies are kind of stagnating and slowing down or trying to find areas and ways that they can grow and develop, we are consistently finding new opportunities that we are expanding in. So no day is the same. Every day is a great day, and there's never a dull moment. Everybody is unique and different in their own capacities, and I think that that's what gets me fired up, is that I know I'm walking into a space where nothing is a repeat.
That's great. Let's imagine for a second someone listening to this show is thinking about planning a wedding. What are some tips or tricks that you can impart to somebody thinking about booking a wedding venue and a team to help them accomplish it?
Absolutely. So first and foremost, this is your big day, and you should have what you want in that space. And so you're going to get a lot of opinions, and you're going to have a lot of people who may disagree with your decisions, but ultimately it's not their celebration, it's yours, and you should really enjoy the entire process from start to finish when planning and enjoying your wedding. And that, I think, flows directly into my next piece of advice, which is hiring strong and capable vendors. This industry, you really do get what you pay for. And so if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Of course, people are definitely growing their businesses and trying to get their name out there, but tried and true methods of people who are industry leaders and trailblazers is really where you're going to be able to enjoy the day the most and get that best expertise and guidance. And then lastly, I think finding ways and venues and vendors that showcase both you and your partners' wants and needs and desires. This is typically a unity between two people. And while maybe one partner is more involved and excited about the process than the other, finding ways to make sure that you're showcasing both sides of that unity is really important and makes for a really unique celebration and experience.
Dude, awesome stuff. Thank you for coming on the podcast. Zach, if people want to learn more about Barr Mansion, where can they go?
Absolutely. So you can definitely find us online at barrmansion.com, and that's BARR mansion.com. Or we're very active on social media, so Instagram and TikTok. Barr Mansion is our handle. Definitely recommend checking out some of our portfolios, footage, and see our beautiful grounds and meet our wonderful team. That is going to be a good first place to start.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Don't go anywhere because I want to keep talking, but thanks for coming on the podcast.